Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. We're waiting for a few more folks to join us. This is the Build with Bear Workshop. As I said, we're going to be building some Legos today. We are working on our green mech dragon. As you can see, we've got, you can't really see because in this camera, there's a green screen filter. So this is hard to tell that this is a very cool dragon. We built half of it. We're going to build the second half today. Talk about New York Comic Con. I'm going to show you the kits that I built that I bought to build on the stream. And we'll do a little Lego building. We'll talk. Happy Saturday to you, Road. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave emote here in the chat. If you are a subscriber, throw the Bear Cave emote in there back at me. Let me know you're here. We'll wait for a few more folks to join us before we get real deep into it. But I do want to, say hi. I'm going to make a separate video of the model kits that I got. And oh, hey, robot. Um, that I'll make for YouTube, but I figured I could also talk about it on stream. Also, I know this won't take 2 hours to finish this Lego set. And we'll probably wrap up a little early tonight because, like Thursday, I'm exhausted. It was a very long stream. It's not a stream, long weekend, I should say. So we won't get the full 2 hours here because I don't think I can do it. But yeah, we'll wait a couple minutes. We'll see if anybody else joins us in the chat before we start building. Also, a bunch of new anime came out, but I only watched one thing. So we'll talk about that later. So this whole week, I only watched 2 new shows because I've just been so busy. Did not have the time to check out stuff. I also had the last episode Overlord, so I did watch 3 things, but only 2 new shows. I'm going to hopefully watch more by Thursday because there's some new stuff coming out. But yeah, I haven't seen the new JoJo, haven't seen the new episode of Fairy Tail, haven't seen Sword Art Online yet. I just watched 2 brand new shows this week, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, we'll talk about that a little later. Yeah, and I'll talk about the cool stuff I saw at New York Comic Con. It was a fun trip. Daily visit. I'm not going tomorrow, so my Comic Con is over. I'm gonna go to work my regular old job tomorrow. So no cosplay looking and hanging out for me. That's okay. It was a very good time. I had a great time at New York Comic Con. You can check my Twitter feed for all the cosplay I saw. I only took one photo of cosplay. I took a photo of Yajirobe because that's a weird choice. The sword wielding, hanging out with a cat, Senzu Bean delivering Yajirobe, who, spoilers, in Dragon Ball Super, is one of the last humans alive. Therefore, it's an odd choice robot. I think it's an odd choice. I guess that makes I don't know if they talk about that, but in the future world where it's just like Trunks is the last even partial Saiyan, I guess that makes Yajirobe like the second strongest person there. Or good guy at least. That's weird to think about. Yajirobe jumps up pretty high. Anyway, let's go to the main feed and we'll do bag 3. Then we'll talk about the model kits that I bought at New York Comic Con, and then we'll do bag 4. How's that sound to you? This might be a light show. You wish you knew Dragon Ball Road. Look, the U.S. dub of the first handful of episodes of Dragon Ball, the original, came out in 95, and I loved it. And then Dragon Ball Z, they skipped right to Dragon Ball Z. They did the first adventure up until getting the Dragon Balls in Dragon Ball, the first 13 episodes or something like that, 20, something like that. And then they just skipped to Dragon Ball Z. And I was like, what? But so then I got obsessed and just went for it. So anyway, now you can see the overhead shot, our green dragon, which has a lot of this mint color that I really like. I actually watched a few episodes of the original DB a few months ago. But yeah, I guess you mean Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I mean it's kind of the whole same thing. One of the things I really loved about this year's oh yeah, it's got these kind of cool booster things that pop up. They're pretty cool looking. Hello Isk. Uh, One of the cool things about New York Comic Con this year is that because of Super, Dragon Ball is back, baby, and people are cosplaying. The amount of uh, Bulma, like Dragon Ball Bulma, like pink dress that says Bulma on it, ass Bulma. There was so much. Harold's now hosting. Thank you for the hosting, Harold. Always appreciated. Um, but yeah, it's there were so many Bulmas and Vegetas and Gokus and Master Roshi's. There was this beautiful couple. These two female presenting folks. One who 18 had like these fucking was fucking ripped, like just very mask looking, like incredible. With a young lady who had her hair done up like Krillin when he has hair, and the sunglasses when he's wearing Gohan's sunglasses, and like casual, and it was fucking rad as hell. They looked so good. Uh, Bull ass Bulma is a good porn star name. No need to apologize, Road. I understand. But yeah, it was. There were a lot of really great Dragon Ball cosplays. There were, I didn't see any Beerus, no Beerus or Whis, but from Super. But yeah, I saw Videl and just a bunch of people doing all kinds of characters. Oh, so I saw young people, young children, preteens. I don't know, young kids. There was a Goten, there was a young Trunks, and they did the fusion dance, and I cried a little bit in happiness because it was awesome. Uh, they like knew it and they did it, and and a bunch of people clapped. Oh, holy shit! I'm always like when I don't sleep enough, and I'm at a convention, and I start thinking about the happiness that this weekend has brought a lot of people, um, both creatively and just like being around other people that get what they get or don't know what that thing is, but are like, well, what's that thing you're dressed as? Well, wait, what's that? Um, it really chokes me up, and it's also because I lack of sleep. But so this is some sort of laser cannon thing that our villain can use. So we built that. Um, but yeah, I do get emotional when I start thinking about that. There was a kid uh, who ran around and just said, "Mom, there are so many Gokus." It just like I was just like, oh, don't cry, do not cry. But it was great. It was a good day. Um, Another thing I overheard, which is awesome. I was waiting in line for food, and there was like a group of kids or whatever and teens. They were dressed up in various. They had various gear going on. Um, a lot of like superhero stuff. And then one kid was like, "Hey, I don't know what's up with that uniform, that like blue and it's got the lines." And then like a couple of the other kids in the group were like, "You don't watch My Hero?" And then like they didn't say, "This is My Hero." And he was like, "No." And they're like, "Oh my god." And they were like, "You would love it." And that made me really happy. There was a lot of My Hero Academia cosplay, like a lot. Like most of like the main big kids, the popular kids, some minor characters. There was one girl dressed as Mineta, and I really wanted to be like, "Why are you doing this? Is this dare? Why are you the bad grape boy?" Um, but it was overall it was a really cool weekend. Um, I shot some video. A lot of it is up on Oni's Twitch channel. Some of it is on its YouTube channel. I don't think it's out yet, but when it is, I'll link to a very nice chat I had with um what's his name? Pat Rothfuss, Patrick Rothfuss, fantasy author, uh, co-wrote um uh a mini series for uh um Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons. It's an IDW and Oni joint because Oni has the Rick and Morty license and IDW has the D&D license. So it's like a joint venture between the two. And it's Pat Roth's first comic book, which is kind of surprising because he's a very prolific writer. So it was cool. Rhodes says, if I could, I would love to be All Might and run through the halls of convention going, I am here. Apparently, there was a screening uh, uh, of the My Hero movie that a friend of mine was at, and she said that in the climax of the movie, everyone in the audience yelled "plus ultra" like at the same time, and it's just like, oh, I definitely would have cried. That just rules. So we're working on this. Um, Working on our dragon, our mech dragon here. This is from the Ninjago movie. Uh, I should say there were several. I did see some All Mights. There were some All Mights in attendance. Uh, and the one thing I noticed is I didn't see any. No, I'll take that back. I only saw one villain from that show. Uh, so there's only one villain. There was I forget her name. She's the girl that can that if she gets blood, she can like mimic that person and become that person. I saw someone cosplaying as her, but I didn't see any other villain, which is weird because usually, like any big anime, there's going to be people dressed as the villain. Yeah, the weird needle girl. I saw someone as her, but like when because there's like fairy tales kind of popular, not super popular, always pretty popular, but like Naruto, you always have a Katsuki. You always like I saw like three or four different group cosplays of Akatsuki. Like you're always going to see that because they're pretty cool villains. But I did not see that. All right, I don't know what that's for. We'll get to it. But I did not see I only saw one of those villains. So that was pretty cool. I like that. The people were like, "Oh no, I wouldn't cosplay as the bads. I'm going to cosplay as the cool, nice young people." Uh, Gang Orca cosplay. Oh, that would be pretty cool. I did not see that, but yeah, I saw a couple present mics, and I didn't see any mountain ladies. Uh, yeah, there were, but yeah, I think most of the major teachers were around. I just did see some Bowsettes. I did not see some Bowsettes until today, though. I thought I would see them all weekend, but today they came out to hang out, so that was cool. Um, all right, so we are now putting a back leg here on. So we got a leg now. Got our front legs, and then we'll put our back leg on. And then we're going to do that. You can see it here. We're going to do that on the other side. We're basically doing the exact same thing we just did on the other side. But yeah, it was a lot of great cosplay. I posted on Twitter my favorite cosplay of the whole weekend. I think, honestly, today I saw a Sailor Mars Starscream mashup costume. And like it was mostly the Sailor Moon uniform, the Sailor Mars uniform, I should say. And then Starscream wings that were the perfect right color. I probably made of cardboard, I assume. Um, and then she had like an eyepiece over her eye that was like as if her skin was peeling back and it was the metal, kind of Terminator-esque, and it was a red eye. And it was just a very unique, interesting costume. I was really impressed with it. I think it looked really cool. That was probably my favorite. Um, the sisters from Hocus Pocus. There were three gentlemen doing those characters, the sisters, and that was really cool. Um, let's see. I did see a sexy Waluigi. There was a sexy Waluigi because you know what? There's always a sexy Waluigi. Now, one might argue that all Waluigis are sexy, therefore there are several there. But I'm saying the character choice of I have a rose, my shirt is unbuttoned, I'm fairly buff, I'm also Waluigi. That was present. So that was that. Um, trying to think if there was any other major. It was not Dan Reichert robot. You're fine, questioning that, but yeah, it was not Dan. It was somebody. Of course, you know, look, were there a lot of goddamn Deadpools and most? Look, I'm starting to think there might have been more parody Deadpools than just Deadpools, like, and not just like Bob Ross Deadpool. I'm talking like, oh, I'm wearing uh my gi like I'm from the Kame house, but I've got a Deadpool mask on, or I'm Iron Man but Deadpool, or I'm Spider Man but Deadpool. And it's like, okay, I guess I'm just over it. There's just so many Deadpools. I'm a little bit like tired of all of them. Uh, so of course that was very present. Lots of Harley Quinns, of course. Um, Less Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad, the movie Suicide Squad, which is great because that's my least favorite Harley Quinn. I actually think I like Arkham Asylum better than movie Harley. So there were less Harleys, and that was good. I'm all fine for expression, but meh. Uh, Lots of Princess Bubblegum and Marceline couples. Always rad to see. That's some good coupling right there. So I was happy to see that. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's. Oh, so now normally you would see Ash and Misty as a couple, right? Couple costume. Sometimes you see Ash and Pikachu, and I'm like, that's a weirder thing. Okay. This was, and then sometimes you see Ash and Misty, and then they put like a Pikachu hat on a kid, because they got a baby or whatever. This was Ash and Misty, but the kid was dressed up as what the hell, Togepi, and so I thought that was really cool. So it's just like because it was in like a Togepi onesie. So it's just like an egg thing. I thought that was a good play with the genre because normally it's Pikachu or maybe even Pichu. Yeah, that does make more sense, right? Because Misty has to carry around Togepi, so it makes way more sense to me anyway. All right, so we got legs. We got our legs done. This dragon's already looking badass. We can add more accessories to it. Um, Put on there. Uh, Seems to be like a light stream tonight, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Um, let's see. I bought I bought a shirt. It was from the Good Smile Company, formerly known as We Love Fine, formerly known as the Good Smile Company. They changed their name back, I guess. Um, I got a shirt that has all of the captains from Star Trek, and each, like the silhouette around the captain is basically their Enterprise. And it looks very cool. So I bought that. Um, And then I got some comics. I have the second issue of Dream Daddy. So I have Dream Daddy number 2, the actual issue, and then I also have. Oh, okay, we're putting some decals on. I also have the sketch cover version, which I did not get anyone to sketch, but I have. So the deal with Dream Daddy, if you don't know, is they made basically they're going to do a 6 issue or 5 issue comic, and then there'll be a collection. There'll be a book. Chris Anka, who's a fantastic artist, is Anka, is doing all of the cover art for it. Um, and and then there's like, so you can buy it digitally just by getting DLC for Dream Daddy on Steam, or you can buy them in person at conventions, and they have like different versions of that. And so I got those because issue 2 of the of Dream Daddy um, is about Damien, and so it's gonna be each issue is focusing on the dads, and then but you can just buy. I love it that you can buy digitally just like as DLC. I think that's so clever. Um, so not everybody who knows about Dream Daddy the comic book, but not everybody who knows about the video game knows there's a comic. I got to witness 2 teenage, I would say teenage, we write approximate young ladies just walked by the booth, and then one of them screamed like like you know that scream when you hear it, and then they rushed up and they were like, "There's a Dream Daddy comic," and then they opened up the second issue to reveal the pin up in the middle, and they flipped out, and it was awesome. I'm so happy they knew about it. Uh, and then so each of them bought both of them. They each bought issue 1 and issue 2, which I thought was really great. And one of them said, and it really got me a little bit. She goes, "This is my first comic book," and I know I'm very emotional because I'm tired and because I get that way about things like that. But like I got to witness somebody who probably didn't think they liked comics find a comic for them, and it really wrecked me for a little while there. I didn't think I would be emotional in the retelling, but like I said, I am a bit out of sorts at the moment. But it was very fucking cool. It made me very happy that somebody found something that they're really into, and I got to witness that. Uh, I know that I talk about them a lot because they're very good to me, and you can always take what I say about Oni with a grain of salt, but damn it if they don't make really good comics. They work with really cool people and make very good things, and it's always a pleasure to be able to support them and champion them. We all get emotional over things. You've cried playing every Yakuza game. Well, Road, I get that. It's a very emotional game. Uh, and oh, one book that I do want to talk about is a book called Open Earth. You should Google Open Earth. It is because it is a queer poly story about one day in a space station. So it's sci-fi comic story, and it's about a queer poly relationship because in space, like on a space station, it's like everybody's in each other's business anyway, so it's natural to be poly. And it's not about like in a bit in the same way of Dream Daddy, like it starts on a basis of okay, this is accepted. So it's very good. I read it, and it's really fucking awesome. So I highly recommend Open Earth. All right, so we're putting this here, and there, snapping on. And what's going to happen is this is section 1 of the tail. We are now building out the tail, and we do that, and it'll be able to, the whole tail will move as it goes. So now we're just going to extend the tail out. Um, but yeah, it made me feel good because the Dream Daddy books are really fun, and then I love the idea of people both in both directions. I also had somebody who was buying a bunch of Rick and Morty books when I was there ask about Dream Daddy, and it said like he's like they make they make dating sims in English. He was like, I didn't know they made them in English. I always heard about those. I didn't like. I'm pretty sure that dude went home and bought Dream Daddy because he didn't know that was a thing he could buy. And that I thought that was awesome. I don't know. Had a bit of an emotional weekend, like I said. And I saw some friends I was happy to see. Um, few choice cool people. I skipped both panels I was going to go to in order to like one was just go home early yesterday, and the other was because I unfortunately some scheduling conflicts. So I didn't see either panel I was going to see. I went to one party, which was good. It was good to go to that party. I should need to send a thank you note about that. I just remembered. Did not thank my friend for inviting me to that party. And you gotta, you don't have to write a. I say this. When people do you huge cool favors, I'm not saying you got to get out the postcards, although you could send a postcard. Um, but I do think sending thank you notes is like uh, really easy, like an easy, cool thing to do. It's just to send like an email or a DM or whatever your friendship level is or relationship level is. But I do like to send thank yous when I can because it doesn't take much, and I think people appreciate it. That's always been my mo. Is just thank people for doing cool stuff, especially if it's a favor. All right, put on there. All right. And put that on there. Cool. And then we're just building sections of the tail right now. It's pretty neat. All right. So we did that, and then that just goes. Wait, did I mess this up? No. Oh, looks like I put the wrong piece on. This piece that's right here is supposed to be a different piece. I messed up. Yep. So this tail section is wrong. I'm glad I figured that out now. I mean, I don't know when I wouldn't have, but so I gotta take off these pieces. It's not gonna be too hard to get it off, but I do have to take things apart, and I will use my the separator here. I'll use the tool, what it's there for, which is removing pieces. Okay, that comes off. These come off. This comes off. It happens now and again. I'm actually surprised I'm not making more mistakes since I'm so tired, but it happens. So we got to go back here. Basically, I'm going to kind of like almost start over on assembling this because I got to make sure I do it right. So this goes on here. It goes like that. Okay. All right. We're figuring it out. We're fixing my mistake. Not too hard to fix. Happens now and again. Just get this thing on here. Alright. And great. Problem solved. Solution found. Reset done. Alright. And now we can move on to the next tail piece. We're going to keep moving our tail here. I think this is the last tail section, so we'll finish it up. Well, thank you everybody for joining me. Folks that are watching later on the stream, or watching on YouTube, I should say, later after the fact. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight. As I said, I'm a little out of sorts because I am pretty tired. I want to keep my streaming schedule the same because it's rough to do a different one when I, and Znit just subscribed using Twitch Prime. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Andy Znit. Andy Znit. I don't know. Hey, Mr. Bob. Hello and welcome. But yeah. It's whatever. Okay, well, Andy, thank you for subscribing. I'll appreciate it very much. Mr. Bob, hello and welcome. Yeah, so I've been talking about some New York Comic Con stuff. I was there the past 3 days, commuting to and from the apartment here in Brooklyn. I'm very tired, but also had a very good time, so I can't complain about being tired. I'm going to try to go to sleep early because I have a long day tomorrow at my regular job. Hooray. But yeah, I'm coming to you from the floor because sitting on furniture has become a tense subject. Okay, Mr. Bob. Okay. I don't understand, but sure. Yeah, I'm pretty exhausted. I'm pretty knocked out. And then I have a long day tomorrow, so hopefully I will be able to get some sleep after the stream. I'll go right to sleep and catch a bunch of Z's. Is this a cop out? Let's see what people think. This is the tail, and it's just one big piece. And I don't think it's that much of a cop out. I think it's a cool looking piece. But I think I maybe would have liked it if it was sections. But I don't know. I'm at two minds of it. Not ideal, but it's canon. You got dog number 2, and dog number 1 is having a moment. I understand, Mr. Bob. Dog number 1 is having some issues with dog number 2, and just the whole concept of there actually being a dog number 2 is conflict, and I understand. Oh yeah, so golden swords come out. Got to put these gold swords here. I like that because it's a ninja dragon, has swords on its tail. One would assume for ninjas to go up and grab when they need swords. If they need their katanas, they can run up to the dragon and be like, oh, let me borrow these. I think that's pretty cool. And then we insert that there. That's fine. With something like that and thin, I wouldn't want to break it easily. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that like if it was like a bunch of smaller things, that makes sense. That if it was like a tiny little pieces, it could fall apart. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Road. All right, so we got to put 3 more of the scale things on here. All right, so this goes like this. Put these on here. And just go on the golds. And that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I saw some friends in New York and hung out and did some interviews. I did a bunch of interviews. I was very happy to do that. As I said, Patrick Rothfuss was probably my favorite interview. Although Sarah Grayley is rad. Sarah Grayley is a web artist who also does some big books, some great art. Um, uh, Sarah, you may know from Kim Reaper, which is a young adult book um, about a college student who gets a part-time job as the Grim Reaper, as a Grim Reaper, and her relationship stuff and trying to deal with like being a college student and working that. And that first book is really good. And she just started issues that will be collected in a second book that is called Vampire Island. It introduces the ideas of vampires to the world of that she's in, and it's a very fun book. So Sarah, my interview with Sarah was very fun because she's very fun. Um, but I was very pleased to have the opportunity to talk with Patrick Rothfuss. That was cool. He's very excited about working on the D&D book, so that excitement shone through, which was great. And we're building some sort of shoulder things here. It looks like we're gonna put some stickers on this, as it's a mech. It has stickers, decals, you could call them, I guess. 8 is this one. And once again, I'm never perfect with my sticker application. I'm always just doing my damnedest, doing my best, and hoping for the best. So if it's not perfect, it's okay. Um, it's the best I can do. All right. And that goes on here. Yeah, so it's kind of like, I guess like maybe like whiskers. Oh, not whiskers, like shoulder. Yeah, shoulder things. I guess I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. But I put it on. And then we'll do the other side of the same exact way. A piece for the same one. Just right there. See you down there where it's hanging out. And this is just exactly the same, but the opposite. Alright. And once we finish up with this bag, I will show off the kits that I purchased at New York Comic Con. Then we'll do an ad break. Then we'll know bag 4. And then when I say ad break, I just mean I'm going to talk about subscribing. I'm going to talk about my Amazon wish list. I'm going to talk about my Patreon and how I want to get it. I want to try to get that $40 in subscribers to get it up to 150, which is obviously more than 40. Really, when you take about logistics and all that, but whatever. Try to get to that sweet, sweet, sweet spot where I can build more model kits because I can purchase more kits and stream an extra hour a week. It's the goal. But yeah, I'll talk about all that a little later. Right now, we're just putting this piece on here. Like that. And then that is it for bag 3. So I'm going to put these extra pieces in our extra pieces container. Along with this big old weapon. Goes there. And we can have this off to the side. We'll get ready for looking at cool stuff, folks. It's that time. We're going to look at cool things. So, the first thing we'll look at is what I bought, which I said I was going to buy. Which is this. This is the V2. The Victory 2 Gundam. From Victory Gundam. This is a exclusive for Bluefin, which is the subsidiary of Bandai that sells model kits and action figures. So this is the Virgin Kai version Ka, and it's clear. You can see that right there. And you can see my lamp reflected. We're going to build a clear kit, which I've never built on stream before. And the gold is incredible with the clear. I've seen this kit in person, and it's great. I've never built anything from Victory. I don't know much about that series. I do know that this thing looks awesome, and I'm really excited about building it. As you can see, it's the Expo line. It says Expo right there, because these are only available at expos and events and conventions. So this looks very cool. This looks like a very neat master grade, so I'm excited to build that. So I bought this. This is what I said I was going to build. Are there actually clear ones in the show? Are they supposed to be invisible? No, Road, as far as I know, like I said, I don't know Victory too well. This is just like clear because that's cool for model kits. Like you will see, there was another clear one, but it was in the 144 scale. It was a smaller real grade that was clear from a show that I know wasn't clear. It's mostly just like a cool thing for building model kits. The same way that you can buy a clear console, and that's kind of cool, or a clear phone, pre-smartphone. So I bought that. We knew I was going to buy that. Here's another thing we knew I was going to buy. If they had more of these Dragon Ball little kits, I was going to buy them. The Mech collection. So at San Diego, I bought Bulma and her motorcycle. And now I have Goku and his like little jet bike. And I've got Lunch's one-wheel motorcycle. So Lunch and her one-wheel motorcycle. And Goku's jet buggy. That's what it's called. So I bought these. These will take no time at all to build. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them with me because they won't take up much room. I'll take these two and I'll take just a snipper clips with me to PAX Unplugged in November. And I will build these during a stream while I'm out of town because I want to do one stream while I'm away. So that'll happen there. Because these kits will take like half an hour at most. Yes, Andy, yes, the models are clear, and oftentimes with master grades, a clear model kit will show the inside working parts, which you normally don't see on a kit. Mr. Bob just sent me a message. I will read that after the stream, Mr. Bob. And then here's a kit that I didn't think I would buy. I bought a high grade of the Gundam Heavy Arms Custom. So, let me explain. The Heavy Arms Custom is from the Endless Waltz OVA, which is the second part of Gundam Wing. It's a movie, it's the OVA, it's a special. They did a redesign for those. I love this redesign. It's not available in master grade. It's only available in the high grade. So I got the 1/100 high grade of it because I really wanted to build it. I love the color scheme way better than the red. I love the colors. I love the double machine guns attached to the arms instead of the one gun arm. I love that. I love how many missiles it has, just like the original. It's got all kinds of machine guns and missile launchers. So yeah. This is when did this come out? This came out in 1997. So it's an old kit. Yes, the thing with the Heavy Arms was it was all about firepower. And so I bought this. It was $10 cheaper than it was at Amazon. I looked at Amazon, and in the store, this was $10 cheaper. Totally worth picking up. Because also, I was buying kits. So, Robot, this is your favorite Gundam. That's awesome. I built the master grade of the original version 1 of Heavy Arms. And I like that kit. But this one's not available in master grade. And so, I love the photo of it opened up. I love looking at that. And all its glory. And its many missiles and guns. Yeah, so this is kind of like, all right, I'll get this too. It's not my favorite Gundam, but it's up there. And that's it. That's that's what I bought as far as the show. Like I said, I bought a shirt too. I bought a couple comics. I was gifted a couple comics. I got a rad pin of a young lady with a scythe from Kim Reaper, and it says "I'm hella goth." And the hella goth is its own pin, so you can match that word bubble with other pins, and not just that. I got that. That's a gift for someone who doesn't watch the streams, but she will get that when I see her next. Um, yeah, so those are the things we bought there. We're about an hour in, so I'm gonna go and do my ad break here. I apologize to folks that have heard this and it's a broken record. First things first, if you're watching the stream and you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. At the very least, give me a follow, set your notifications so you know when I'm streaming. If you could subscribe, that would be rad. Uh, Getting my numbers up would be awesome. Uh, we live in the low to mid 20s. I would love to live in the 30s or the 40s. You know, but uh, but I appreciate everyone that does subscribe, and it's really rad. Um, and let's see. So if you don't feel like doing that, you could become a subscriber on Patreon. Patreon's pretty cool. Here's the link to my Patreon. Uh, $5 a month. Like the $5 a month club is going to get this video later tonight. They're going to get the Let Pat Play video that normally comes out on Monday. They'll get that tomorrow, which I still have to record. I'm recording that after I do this. The $10 club on my Patreon gets to vote on kits I make. I'm going to put a poll up on Monday for them to vote on what kit I should build of the kits I bought. Should I build the heavy arms next? Or should I build the V2? I'm going to build one of those two next, and they're going to decide which one it is, which is pretty cool. I also have a coffee. Yeah, we'll mix up the order here, and I'll say my coffee. Coffee is a great way to support because it's just giving me a tip. It's just being like, here's 6 coffees, or here's a coffee. Here's a couple of bucks, and I'll use that money to buy model kits. I spent about $100 on those 4 kits. Obviously, one of them is very special. One of them is hard to find. Is kind of hard to find these days, and the other 2 aren't really available in the U.S. So I was paying a premium, but that that adds up. Kits add up. Speaking of kits and adding up, I also have my Amazon wish list, and you could buy something on there. And if there's something on there that you think should be added, if there's something you're like, oh, you need to make this, let me know and I'll add it. I always update it pretty regularly. Try to always put Amazon stuff with Amazon Prime. I can't always do that, but I try. That's something you could do. And stuff that's bought on the wish list jumps the queue. I always jump ahead and do that as soon as possible because I want to build the things that people bought for me. Then I have a Discord. This is the Build with Baer community Discord. I'm always putting photos up of kits that I've built on the stream, and people can promote their stuff, and I encourage folks to put their stuff. You can always send me a tweet of what you're working on, and I'll retweet it, but you can also post in the community. And we'll man, I'm gonna apologize. I casually mentioned something on the internet by a very well-known person, and I just keep getting replies to it and retweets to it, which is very strange. Actually, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna put up the pre-show screen, and I'm gonna go get water because I don't have any water. I forgot my water, and I need it. But once I come back, we're gonna build bag 4 of this kit. We're gonna null it. I'm gonna talk about anime while we null. And then, Isk, I'm going to answer your question because I did see some larger than life cosplay, and I'll talk about that in just one moment because I talked so much this weekend. I need water. I'll be right back. I'm back. Apologize for having to run out on the stream for even that long. Um, but I just needed this. Whew. Okay, let me get another sip of water in. Oh, that's so nice and cold. Oh, dang, that's nice. Very, very good. All right, so put this aside so that we can start knolling, and then I will answer. So, Isk asked if I saw any big cosplay. So I didn't see like a Reinhardt like you suggested, but what I did see was a very big Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie, like the latest design, like definitely wearing stilts, huge, huge, 8 feet, 9 feet tall, maybe 9 feet tall, and that was incredible. That was an incredible sight to see. I've seen plenty of big Transformers before. That might have been the biggest. Uh, it was pretty dang big. Um, I was I was definitely surprised to see that walking around. And I've seen there were some characters. There were some Space Marines. So those are always guys are always wearing stilts. The Warhammer 40K Space Marines. I should clarify, not Halo Space Marines. But yeah, I saw some of those. That was very cool. Um, let's see if there's any other. Ooh, I love this purple. Look at that. Look at that purple. It it doesn't. Okay, it looks better in this camera, but it's a really nice shade. Um, I don't think the Bumblebee was able to transform Isk. If it did, I couldn't see it. That's a level of complexity you don't normally end up seeing in big, giant, larger than life cosplay. There are some people that do it, but usually those are kind of smaller pieces because that's less work to transform because it's very hard to do that. Um, I have seen it, but in like usually it's just like I'm Optimus Prime, and then I fell over, and now I'm a truck. Like it's usually that. It's not that in depth, I should say. Um, all right, so we're just gonna know our pieces. But yeah, I didn't see a lot of big cosplay. Most of the stuff was just people in costumes, hanging out, being whatever, playing their characters, doing their thing. I saw less Bob's Burgers stuff than I usually do. Usually see more group costumes from that, more Tina Belchers and all that than I saw. I think Daphne and Velma's are coming back. For a while there, anyone that would have been Velma was doing Tina, and I think that's shifted back um, to them doing that. I'm gonna refresh the stream because it says that I have 0 views. There we go. It said I had 0 viewers, and that wasn't right. And then I'm gonna put the Bear Cave emote in there just to make sure that's working. Feel free to throw that emote in there. Uh, um, yeah, what was it? Oh yeah, yeah. So I was for a while there. It seemed like anyone that would normally be Velma was doing Tina Belcher. Uh, Monster Hunt. Always a ton of Spider-Man, Andy. I didn't see much Monster Hunter, but also I don't know Monster Hunter that well, so it's possible that I could have seen some of it and thought it was something else. Because there's always some like stuff that I'm like, that's very detailed. This I don't know what this fantasy series is you're doing. I will say I saw less Adventure Time not than previous years. It might be because it was last season. That might be why that was a little underrepresented. Uh, you know, Definitely less Finns and Jakes. Still like a good representation. Like I said, Marceline and Princess Bubblegum was like definitely a couple costume. Like there were definitely people in that costume. So that was still very cool to see. Uh, I'm sure the Spider-Man game. Yeah, I think the Spider-Man. Oh, I got a new follower. Thank you for that. Ingen, InGen 88. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Um, uh, We have not talked about Banksy yet. Banksy self-destructive art. I am of two minds of it. One, I do think that's pretty fucking rad. Um, to do that, and two, like, yeah, it doesn't, like, yes, more would be good. It would be good to dismantle that system. I'm not expecting one person or a collective or whatever the fuck Banksy is to be able to pull that off. But I do think making a bunch of rich people look foolish is pretty cool. Uh, yes, Mr. Bob, I would say that Banksy is pretty safe as far as counterculture goes. There's there are people who are riskier in the world than Banksy, so it is someone you can point at as being like fine. But I do think that like I said, anytime you can make rich people seem pretty foolish, uh, that's pretty cool. And then yes, there's always the chance that it's now worth more because of the story and all of that. But I don't know. Um, who knows? All I know is I needed something to be like, ha, and it was that, and so I appreciate it. Uh, let's see. Oh yeah, we're opening more of these. We're just doing quick null, and then we'll build, and we'll just go until we're done. Like I said this earlier. Uh, I apologize for this, but we are gonna cut this a little short. I'm gonna go, until I finish, but the kit, but we probably won't go to 11 because I am very tired from this weekend, and I do not have it in me to stream the whole time. So once we finish this, we won't like start anything new. Uh, but yeah, but we'll get through everything. Got a clear purple piece here. It's looks very cool. I like that. Just a little bit of purple. Mix things up a little bit. We've got a bunch of different kinds of green, which I appreciate and enjoy. Got the mint green, we got the dark forest green, we got our traditional green, we got the neon green, all kinds of green. It's very cool. And a few other odds and ends. I think it did finish. I'm not sure if it stopped or not, Mr. Bob, or they stopped it. It might not. It might have been that the weight wasn't enough to follow through. I don't know the specifics. I only saw that video very briefly. But yeah, I don't know. That's weird. All right, we have finished knolling. It is now time to assemble. We'll put our dragon over here. Take out our booklet again. We're in book 2. And now we're going to assemble all these pieces. Simple as that. Finish up the head, and I think that's most of what we're doing now is the head and a bunch of accent pieces. And yeah. This is a very cool kit. I've been waiting to build this for a little while. It's just like a really nice dragon. So I'm excited to assemble it. As I said, I'm going to try to catch up on anime, so I have a lot to talk about on Thursday because there is a combination of a bunch of new shows coming out, and then there's like new seasons of shows that I want to see. I have decided that I am going to binge Fairy Tail because I've never watched it as it aired live. I caught up to it kind of late, so I'm not going to watch Fairy Tail. And then I think I might also, I haven't quite decided this, I think unless it becomes part of the conversation with like friends of mine who are also watching anime, I might wait on Sword Art Online until like the season's over because I also like watched that like all at once and went through the seasons kind of Mr. Bob posted some dog pics to my Discord. Well, now, Mr. Bob, I can't wait to fucking look at my Discord. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I look forward to looking at photos of that after we're done streaming and check it out. And that's a good advertisement for my Discord, is that there are dog pics in there from Mr. Bob. That rules. Thank you, Mr. Bob. Um, but yeah, so I think it. Uh, oh yeah, I don't have that. ISK. I don't think I. Yeah, I don't think I have that keyword generated, but I can look it up right now. Uh, the Build with Bear community Discord is here. I should do some of those like autofill things, but I haven't done that. Uh, yeah, sorry, ISK. But here it is in the chat. Uh, Nightbot is I do so ISK I do have Nightbot and it is set up, but I'm using Nightbot for just moderation and not for like hitting exclamation point, and that is something that I should do. Thank you ISK uh, reminding me that that's a thing I should be doing. Um, yeah, so I think that those two shows, because they're just Hydration Bot is good. I don't think I stream long enough to really justify the need for that. I don't think I binge stream as much, but that is important. Hydration is very important. Yeah, drink some water. There's your permission from me for y'all to go get some water and drink that water. Like I said, I think those anime shows are the ones that I can skip. There is. Oh, I do have good news. It isn't out yet, but I think I talked about how there was a show about a skeleton man named Honda who works at a bookstore. He sells manga, and he's like a weird skeleton guy. That show is coming to Crunchyroll. It's not out yet, but it's called Skullface Bookseller Honda-san. I don't know why it's called Skullface Bookseller instead of Skeleton, but it's called Skullface Bookseller Honda-san, and that is picked up. So I'm very excited about that. So I'll be watching that. There's another anime coming out soon that I can't remember the name of that I'm going to check out. That is I think it's called like Psychic Girls, and it's like a boarding school house for like cool girls. The Beelzebub, I don't know who picked that up. I think Anime Strike, or not Anime Strike, Amazon might have picked up that. Haven't watched Radiant yet. Haven't watched Gridman yet. I don't know if Gridman came out, but I know Radiant did. There's just so much anime. And then I did watch Ms. Vampire Who Lives in My Neighborhood. So, now you just want Skullface Metal Gear 5. So, I got Asmo says, my dog ate 3/4 pound of deli ham. I accidentally left his orbit today. So he's on my shit list for something dumb I did. That happens sometimes. Sometimes they do a dumb thing because you enabled them. And they need to learn what they did was wrong. Okay, so this goes like this. This goes like this. And we put the two pieces there. Yeah, I'm really excited for Skullface Honda-san. Skullface Bookseller Honda-san. Because I think it's like cool that there's like a skeleton guy who sells manga. I just think that's a very cool thing. And so I'm excited to see that series. The Beelzebub show, I don't know who picked that up. I gotta look for that because that interested me. And I know I'll bounce some stuff off. So, I believe you can post links to the trailer for the skeleton anime. Yeah, I believe you can post that into the stream. You should be able to post that links here. Yeah, you're certainly welcome to attempt it. I believe I set that up so you can put links in there. Yeah, I'm excited about that. So let me talk about Ms. Vampire Who Lives in My Neighborhood. So I think the premise rules, but I don't know if I'm going to keep up with it because the first episode felt weird. Um, it was the basic idea is so there is a vampire. Her name is Sophie Twilight. She just kind of goes about her business, and she moved into a new house because when you're a vampire and you don't age, after a while people start asking questions like, why have you not aged? Why do you still look to be a teen? And so somebody thinks that there's a vampire living in her house, but thinks that Sophie is a living doll, and that gets Akina, I can't remember her name. The other main character, that perks her interest because this girl loves dolls. She owns a lot of dolls. We found out later it's quite a bit. So that her interest gets piqued to the idea of there being a living doll. She wants to go meet this doll. Finds out that Sophie's a vampire and is like very cool with it. Immediately accepts the supernatural stuff is real and immediately is like, awesome. I'm going to visit you every day because you look like a doll. And I'm into that because I love dolls. So she meets like she figures out that like Sophie is the closest thing to a living doll she's ever going to get. Um, and then I guess by the end of the episode is going to move in. And there are other girls and the opening cinematic shows us other girls, and then also shows us the idea that there's probably another vampire in the show. Um, and I don't know, because like I think Sophie just seems kind of like a normal girl who happens to be a vampire. She loves anime, um, and she for some reason she doesn't like water, which I don't know if that's an actual. I've never heard that as a vampire thing. But she doesn't like water, but she got a dishwasher, so now it's fine. And she drinks blood, but she doesn't like drinking human blood, so she just buys blood and then drinks it. Uh, and I like her, but I don't know if I like the other girl. The other girl, she reminds me a lot of comic girls, like the Chaos Chan in the main story. The girl who's like really like tries really hard but is very pathetic. Um, she reminds me a little of that and a little of Cocoa, um, uh, of the from an anime whose name I can't remember, who's just like a little too fucking much and needs to like calm the fuck down. So I don't know if like I'm gonna stick with it because I do like slice of life, um, and and so I'm giving it a shot. And I love slice of life, and I definitely love slice of life that involves like supernatural stuff and like being cool with that. So I'm gonna give it a try, but there's so much anime coming out that like that might be a show that just falls by the wayside, and I might just wait until the season's over if the you know winter anime isn't particularly great. So I don't know. It's odd. I don't know if it's doing it for me or not, but there's something interesting about it. Certainly, I don't know if it'll keep my attention. Is basically what I'm saying. But I did want to give it a shot because I like the premise a lot. And like I said, there are. Mr. Bob put a link to his cave adventure, which he also put in our Discord. Thank you, Mr. Bob. But like I said, there's the opening has introduces a couple characters we haven't seen yet, and you get the sense that like I can't tell if it's that kind of like, oh, these two girls like each other, but we're not gonna like talk about that, or if it's gonna be like, no, these characters are fucking in love. Check this out. This character is jealous of that character because of love. Like I don't know if they're gonna go there or not. It'd be interesting if they did. I don't know. Did you know it's hard to light a 360 video? Mr. Bob, I did know that. Yes, that is a thing. It is hard to light those videos because you have to light in 360 degrees. That's why a lot of people do this kind of like they do a thing on on a lot of people put their cameras on top of a bulb kind of thing that's like a light ball. That's what I was trying to say. A light ball. They often put them in a light ball because a light ball will illuminate evenly. This manga man stuff needs some translation for me to get the full picture. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know anything about it other than it's a skull guy who works at a bookstore and wants to sell manga, and there are other characters who are also like have like some stuff going on. So that seems cool to me. It's definitely worth watching one. But I gotta watch Goblin Slayer. I gotta watch Radiant. I gotta watch Gridman. Gridman is a thing that I could see myself not being into, depending on like how fucking Trigger it is. The company Trigger. I think that's who made that, right? Uh, uh, Gridman. Yeah. Let's see. Uh, yes. So it is a joint venture between the people that make the original Gridman, which is apparently this is like somewhat of an adaptation of a year long TV show, and they made Ultraman. They make Ultraman and Trigger Studio Trigger. Um, so that's it. Just depends on how much of that company is showing through. Because like I like them, but I've never really loved them as a company. Um, Radiant, I know, is based on the manga that's drawn by a French person, and that's just like interesting enough for me to want to check out. Yeah, Mr. Bob, like I said, I don't know anything about that, but the idea of a skull man working at a bookstore is enough to get me to watch an episode. Yeah, and like maybe I won't stick with the for the whole time, every moment of um, Goblin Slayer or any of these new ones. I don't know, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to check out a lot of these shows. And there's also a bunch of stuff coming out that I have no interest in. But then the problem is maybe I do have an interest in it, and I don't know that I'm really gonna love some sword anime that came out. Like maybe that's the thing, because I didn't think that I was gonna love Black Clover because I watched the first episode and I was like, I do not like this. Then I watched like the second episode like months and months later because people I trust were like, "Hey, how come you're not watching this one?" And so I did. I don't like it. I don't love it, but I do like it. Um, Mr. Bob, I am not a Forza person. I'm glad. Look, first off, let me say this. I'm fucking very happy for y'all that you got yourself a good Forza. I'm happy for any racing fan because I know that racing games are, like, don't come out that often and sometimes are disappointing and all that. I get that part. Um, uh, and so I do want y'all to have good games. So I'm very glad that this show that this Forza is good. I mean, I'm looking at beautiful photos that friends of mine have taken of Forza, and so I'm happy for that. Uh, if you can watch some streams, you can see the best. Yeah, yeah, I'm excited to watch some stuff from it. It looks very cool. I'm gonna try to reply this decal. I fucked it up real bad, and so I'm gonna try to redo it. Um, Isk, I don't know anything about a thing called Release the Spice. Weird. Uh, I don't know anything about that anime. Is that Oh, is that the thing that's like kind of like Food Wars and kind of like Spaceship Battle Yamato? That might be the show that some people said is like it's like tiramisu something or other. It's about a cowgirl who wants to be a cop that gets caught up in some crime and has joined the secret police force that's run out of her school. Oh, But then I don't know anything about that ISK. I've never heard of that show. I'm thinking of something that has the name Tiramisu in it. That is like a spaceship comedy show that is not funny. That my friends have said is not funny. That is a different show you're talking about than what I heard. I do not know anything about that. Never heard of it. Um, Asmo says, I played a few hours of AC Odyssey today, and I think it's very good, and I don't like it all that much. That seems to be the sentiment, especially from people that like the last, liked Origins. Um, that seems to be people's feeling. I can only comment that I have not played it, as I have not played an Assassin's Creed game in quite some time. I played one, two, Brotherhood, and then that's it. I think I stopped there. Yeah, because then it was like ones that people didn't like, and then I just wasn't interested. Yeah, I didn't play Origins. I heard very good things. So that's a I'll get to game. Like I'll get to it at some point. Um, I've got to put this. So we're building our cockpit here. Then we got to build. We're now building. Yeah, parts of our cockpit. We're going to put in our control panel. This is to control our dragon, make it do what we need it to do. Then we got to put one more of these spike things on. And there. It goes like that. And oh, Isk, have a good night. Well, have a good time at work tomorrow, and thank you for stopping in. Always happy to have you here, Isk. See ya soon. Uh, Andy says, "Have you watched the live-action Bleach movie on Netflix? It's surprisingly fine. I haven't watched it. I have heard, not bad things about it. I guess that's what I should say, and maybe not good things, but I have definitely heard that it is not bad. Um, People whose opinion I trust have said that it's fine. So I haven't checked it out, but I could probably check that out. Uh, Origins is the only non-visual novel game I've platinumed, except Infinite Second Son, but that game was easy. Easy 100%. Well, yeah, that is definitely a vote of confidence that you have platinumed it, that you were really into it. All right, so we did this cockpit, which is also like the neck, I guess, and now we need to build the head, or finish building the head. I don't know exactly what we're doing here. Like I said, I don't know this kit. We got our clear piece, which I'm already bummed to see go away as we cover it with other pieces. Um, oh yeah, there's a Master Grade Heavy Arms custom. It looks like I need to get one. Wait, is there? Is there a Master Grade Heavy Arms custom? Because there's so they say Endless Waltz on a lot of the reissues. When they did a reissue, they put Endless Waltz on a bunch of them. I know that the Heavy Arms, the original, the red Heavy Arms, there is a Master Grade of, but I didn't think there was a Master Grade of the 1/100. In 1/100, the Master, I guess, let me see. Oh, I guess there is. Huh. Oh, well, on U.S. Gundam Store, it's $100 out of stock. So I'm happy I got the high grade. Uh, and I'm happy with having the high grade. Uh, I wonder if it was just limited and put out there like, yeah, you can get it for like 30 something bucks. The master grade that is the original. Um, but yeah, that's yeah, 115 on eBay. Oh yeah, 115 sounds about right. Yeah, yeah, that's too rich for my blood. I'm happy with doing the 1/100 scale high grade for that, just to build it, because I do have the original one, the in master grade, and that's a good kit. We built that on stream. That is a quality kit. So, but yeah, I'm okay with not spending that much money. It's not my favorite kit in the world, right? If they didn't make a master grade, uh, well, like I said, no, I didn't say that on the stream. Um, the Death Scythe, Hell, not the custom, Hell, the second version. There's only a 1/100 scale high grade. There's not a master grade for that. So we built the master grade or the high grade, because I want to have every Death Scythe. Um, if there was like a limited one or out there, there's one out there that's like, here's this, like it would be something that I would be interested in eventually getting. But right now I'm okay. But yeah, 115 on eBay, that's a lot of money. It's a little rich for my blood. I mean, I just spent about that. Um, so Road asked if is Gundam how I got interested. Gundam is how I definitely got interested in mechs. I don't know if it was necessarily uh the first show, because I definitely watched Robotron or like Macross. Like I definitely watched those and liked them, and I loved Transformers, so I was definitely always into robots. Um, I will say that Gundam Wing was one of the first like anime that I really, really fell in love with. Obviously, as I said, I've loved Dragon Ball forever, and Dragon Ball is probably my favorite anime. Because it's been with me for so long. Because I'd watched some of the original, but definitely like Gundam Wing was kind of like, hey, check this shit out, and I kind of like went from there. Um, and then once I started watching that, then I started watching other shows and other Gundam shows and getting an appreciation for the whole story, uh, and understanding how like, oh, this guy is a reference to this person, and this story is a retelling of this story, and this is basically just Char. And guess what? There's gonna be a lot of Chars. Uh, yeah, Road, you're 15 years younger than me, so uh, it makes sense that that's a show that would appeal to you and be like, oh, here's a cool robot show and a cool mech show. Yeah, that makes total sense. Um, yeah, 1995, Gundam Wing came out. 96, I want to say, in the U.S. Maybe I can't remember exactly when, but that's me at 15, 16. You know, I watched a lot of anime. When it was still a thing that was like hard to find sometimes, and not well subbed and not well dubbed, and the mech stuff always did appeal to me. Uh, let's see. All right, so we're putting some stuff together here for our head. Just building a head using this lovely color. Um, hmm. Aaron, aeronautical. I don't actually know. I'm gonna look that up right now. I know that like Evangelion and Escaflowne, I never watched like when it first came out. So let's see. Release. Uh, when did it come out? Um, Production. At Began developing it in 1993. Uh, Original run 1995, October 4th, 1995 was the original run of Evangelion, and then Gundam Wing is, let's see, I looked this up not too long ago. Uh, April 7th, 1995. So Gundam Wing came out just before Evangelion. Uh, so Gundam Wing came out the same year, but like months before. Uh, but yeah, like I didn't watch Escaflowne. I didn't watch like a lot of the classic, uh, um, even predating that. I didn't watch a lot of it. A lot of what was I trying to say? Oh, the classic mech anime. And then I went back as I kind of realized, wait, I like robots and I like these shows. Yeah, it's fun to go back and kind of look at it and be like, oh, that's why this is like this, and that's why this is like that. Because once you really watch a show, you can kind of get a sense of it. Despite, let's see. Let me take a look at what you're. No, so that's the Endless Waltz one. I have that. I have the. We built the original Death Scythe and the Death Scythe Hell custom, which is the Endless Waltz one, in the Master Grade 1/100 scale. We also built the high grade of the Death Scythe Hell, which is the second version in the regular series. You know it because instead of the wings that it has in this photo, it has wings that open and go like this. The other one has wings that flip up, and it has like weird side things. It also has two blades. It's a double scythe blade. So that's actually how you know, like, one of the easiest ways to know what it is other than coloring is if it's got two beam blades, that's the Death Scythe Hell. If it's got uh, the if it's got the wings that open up and white shoulder blades like this, like the one you linked to, that's the Hell Custom. Uh, yeah. So I love all of the Death Scythes because the Death Scythes is my first like Gundam I fell in love with. Talked about this a bunch on stream, but I'm okay talking about it again. That's my favorite, so I love all of them. I don't necessarily love the wings of the set of the Hell. I think the cloaking wings are kind of weak compared to the first one and the third one. Um, but I really like the double scythe, and it still has the Buster, which I really like. It still has the drone because the drone is stupid. And the drone is obviously not in the Hell custom. And we did the Shenlong Gundam, but we didn't do the upgrade of it, which is only in the 1/100 scale, and I would like to build it at some point because it's got two arms and they look very cool. Yeah, and I put on my Amazon wish list, I have that, and also on my Amazon wish list, I have some high grade from G Gundam because we've built all but the Spiegel in Master Grade. The Spiegel is right now currently not super easy to find. I will build it at some point, but it's on Amazon and it's a little pricey, so I haven't picked it up myself. But I put two of the other of them of the high grades on my Amazon wish list because those are just cool kits. Because as much as I prefer to work in master grade and high grade, goes through so fast. Um, as long as it's the 1/100 scale, I'm definitely interested in doing it because, as you know, that is a scale I like to work in. All right, we got another decal to put on here. We got a few more decals left. It's a nice big one. We'll get that right on there. Great. That goes on there. That just goes on like that. And then gotta put this gold piece on. We're going to do some lots of gold accents here because this obviously, not obviously, but if you didn't know, this kit is going for a Chinese luck dragon style. So lots of green. Oh, we got to put the eyes in. I was wondering why we had these like heads. These heads are eyes. So we're going to do this on this side, and then we'll do it again on the other side. But yeah, that's an eyeball. Got to put, and we'll put another eyeball on the other side when the time comes. And this piece here, you can see the overhead. This piece is a gold version of the same piece we've used a lot in our streams because this is also the lightsaber. So that's just a little bit recycling done here, a little reuse. But that is the same piece you use as the handle for a lightsaber, which is in this case like a mustache or whiskers. But this could also be a weapon. But I love finding pieces like that when you're like, oh, it uses this piece, huh? I know what this piece does. This piece is also that. I like that. I like that when kits do that. All right, and then we got to put the other eyeball in. Oops. Yeah, it's always cool to see that. Like, if you can catch those pieces of like, oh, this is actually that. That's how they made this. They because they only want to make so many custom pieces. If they can use a piece that already exists, they want to do that because it saves them money, which I am not opposed to. All right, there, and then we're going to put the top of the head on. Look at that, it's coming along. Looking pretty cool. And now we're going to build out the back of this so that we can then get the bottom mouth on. And let's go. Yeah, so we're just building out the back of this so that we can build the lower jaw. So like I said, I'm going to shoot a video. It's going to go out on Tuesday, and that video will just be me looking at the model kits that I showed off today here in the stream, because not everyone watches the archives, so that way if people want to see what I bought, they can buy that, or they can watch that and not buy that. Watch that. And I'll probably include the shirt I bought and the comics I bought and just call it my haul. All right, now we're going to build this. We're going to add some of these here. These are also, the black version of this are the claws here. And these are just gold versions, which is cool. It's the same exact piece, just a different color. The chin whiskers, in a way. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I'll shoot that video. I have just figured things out. In 2 weeks, 2 Saturdays from now, on the 20th, I'm not going to stream 2 Saturdays from now. I will post up there. I'm going to stream on the 19th instead. That's a Friday, so that I still stream twice that week. But a very dear friend of mine is getting married in New York, and the wedding is in the afternoon, but I don't want to leave the reception early to come home and stream. As much as I like to be consistent with y'all, I'm going to do 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. that Friday the 19th, so I'll do a Thursday and a Friday stream. I'll post that. I want people to know. I've just kind of like, as I was thinking about it, being like, well, why am I going to rush at 8 o'clock out from a wedding to get back here in time just so I can keep my schedule instead of being with friends and celebrating my friend Katie and her new husband. So we're going to do that. So that's coming up. So I figured I would Mention that so people knew. Um, Speaking of pieces being used again, let's take a second to appreciate the fact that the tongue for our dragon, which we are about to add, some of y'all may recognize this tongue as being a flag for any castle or medieval set. Like, that's a fucking flag piece. That goes on top of a pole. And instead, it's our tongue. And it's a good choice for the tongue. Don't get me wrong. But it's very funny that that's now our tongue. That's a very fun recycled piece. Oh, also, this bar piece that we put in there, it's too late. I used to use that as lasers on spaceships. So I thought that was a good laser beam. Pat, what's your favorite non-main mobile suit? Mine is the Jesta Cannon. Non-main mobile suit. Like a, I don't know. Does the robot from Mask count? The cool little dumb friend robot that turns into like a motorcycle? Yeah, I don't know. Like, the non-main one. Like, the Death Sight to me is my favorite. I know it's like, it's about 5 Gundams, but it's not the main one. Um, uh, I think the Windmill Gundam in G Gundam is really stupid and great. Like, it is completely nonsensical in a way that I really like. Uh, it's it's really silly. I really like that. Uh, Tall Geese is Sector 7 with the Tall Geese. I mean, the Epion is beautiful, and the Tall Geese. I just love the idea of the Tall Geese because the Tall Geese was like the best of an old generation that they had to like bring back into service because they were like, shit, these Gundams are too good for our mobile suits. Um, oh, what am I saying? It's the Goof Custom. We built it on stream. The Goof Custom that was only in like 2 episodes of Gundam is incredible. Uh, the that goof is unbelievable. We built it. It's such a great, like, it's got so much cool weapons and um yes, Andy, we've built this on stream. You can go back to the archive if you want. The Master Gundam from Master Asia in G Gundam. He had a horse, and that horse rode a unicorn. Because the whole plot was that you put on these suits and you like were 1-to-1 inside the Gundam. So a horse could be inside the horse Gundam. And it's like a unicorn. Master Gundam, yeah. Yeah. And we built the high grade of that because there's no master grade of the horse. So it is really great and stupid that the horse had to have a suit in order to control the robot horse equivalent of itself. It is very dumb in ways that I enjoy because that show is very dumb in very enjoyable ways. So we're going to put more whiskers on here. We're doing it just like we put these spikes scales on. There's some spots for these to go on here. It's kind of whiskers, kind of scales, whatever you want to call them. We're putting them on. Look, G Gundam is problematic. Oops, this just so this thing popped off and flew clear across the table. It is now on the floor, so I'll get that later. I think there's a spare one. I don't think there's a spare of a thing to put it in there, but we'll do this for now, and then I'll go and get it when I need it, just to have that. That was very funny. Oh, I do have this, so I can make another one while I go, and then I'll get that one later. Very funny. All right, one more claws here. Yeah. You watched the show as a child, and it was very hype. You didn't get the stereotypes. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like a lot of times the Asian stereotypes of what an American character is like are very funny. And I'm not talking about the overdub to make a character from Osaka from Brooklyn or anything like that. None of that. I'm just talking about like the overall like just this is what an American is like, right? Who are being assholes. Um, but it's like that for every country. Like it's like you know the American pilot. His name is Crockett, and he's got like a boxing football amalgamation Gundam. But like, and then you look at the Shining Gundam, and it's just a Gundam. Like the Shining Gundam and the Burning Gundam, there's nothing. It's not like it doesn't have like a samurai sword. It's not that. I'm like, what? And like the Master Gundam, other than me calling Master, is just cool and is awesome. But also, let's be real, everybody. We all knew that Master Asia was going to turn out to be evil because that Gundam is evil looking. The Master Gundam is like a demon. Like, come on. We knew. We all knew you were a bad guy because you had a very evil Gundam. But yeah, those stereotypes are bad news. They are bad news bears. All right, last decal. Trash. Just gotta put this on. How it goes. Close enough. Close enough. Close enough. Close enough. All right, so those go on like that. Then we're just gonna put our mustache on here, which are just wrench pieces, the big wrenches. I wish they kept the Japanese name for Neo Mexican Gundam in the dub. Tequila Gundam is better than Spike Gundam. I mean it like fucking Tequila. Yeah, they didn't want to call it that for that, for I think pretty obvious reasons in the dub because it was a Cartoon Network dub. But god damn it, that's fucking awful. All right, so this goes like this. Just all those Gundams. Like the Canadian guy was just like a logger, which was like whatever. The Russian dude had a big ball. Oh, the Russian dude had a big ball and chain because he was a convict. So that was interesting. Oh, I always thought that was kind of weird. That he had a big iron ball because he was in prison. It's a little Death Race 2000. Okay. So, we are now going to attach the head here. So that's the controls. That's the head. You can open the head. It looks badass. It's got its mustache there. The tail has a little thing here. You can do this to move the tail around, which is cool. It's a kid show, so no alcohol. Yes. Yes, the Toonami was famous for turning beer into soda on many things. All right. And then this thing has launchers, where there's these little pieces here, and you can put them like if you go like this, you can put them here on this thing, and it will shoot them. It's got a good shot to it. That's if you want them like that, but I don't really want them like that. And it's got its rocket boosters as well, which is fucking cool as shit. I'm gonna pop those open. Let's get on the side. But yeah, that's our kit. Yeah, I mean, oops, the tail fell off. The tail partly fell off. When I looked at this kit, and when I saw it in person, I was like, yeah, I'm buying this. And I'm very happy with it. Turned out great. I think it looks super gosh darn cool. And yeah, that's that kit. And we're going to wrap up a little early. Like I said, we're going to go until we finish, but I'm not going to start something new because I am very, very tired, and I still have I still have to record Let Pat Play because I need to do that tonight. So I'm going to upload this video. I'm going to record another video from the same setup. I want to thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Like I said, I'm going to shoot a video where I talk about the kits and I show off the shirt that I got. I'm going to make that video, and that'll go up on my YouTube. This will go up in the archive. Asmo, actually, I don't know what the next build is. It will be one of two kits that I got here at New York Comic Con. So it's either going to be the Heavy Arms 1/100 high grade, or it's going to be the V2, the Victory Gundam. So it'll be one of these two. The poll's going to go on Monday, and I'll know by towards the middle of the week which kit we're going to build next. But that'll be decided by my $10 Patreon supporters. They'll be able to vote, and not all of my $10 people vote. So I often vote, and a lot of times I'm the tiebreaker because they don't all vote. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, I got some videos coming up. And on Thursday, I'll be back to streaming again. I'm going to stream this Thursday, this Saturday, as normal. The following Saturday, I will not stream, so the following Friday, I'll do that. But I'll make sure to remind all y'all. Thank you all for hanging out with me on this, and thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching here now, if you're watching the VOD, thank you. Thanks to everybody, and I will see you soon. Thank you for the cheer sector. I'm glad that I didn't stop recording and streaming before you got that cheer in, so I can thank you on camera. Thank you very much. Cheers and bits are always appreciated as well. Thank you and have a great night.